copping a bit of stick from the boys. Apparently taggers don't do media.
I know, I get that told all the time. So, they try and tell me to stick to my role and don't worry about this kind of stuff.
How pleased are you after your role yesterday? Because it was a game changer.
It was great to play my role for the team. Like, we went into the game with a few boys with some roles, and to be able to do it in finals was great.
Did you expect to keep him to such low numbers? That's his worst performance in years.
You don't expect that. You just try and stick it out and see it through and play through 4 quarters. And I think in the end, for it to be such a low scoring, low possession game for him was great. But I think it's the influence he has, and I was happy that he didn't have that influence.
How much did you learn from the week before?
I think a bit. I think it's just general. I didn't play on him too much the week before. We could try to keep that, a bit quiet to see who I was going to go to. But I think you have that bit of comfortability knowing that you've played against him, and it takes away some of the unknowns for the week.
Before, when you're on Dusty at Eddie, were you sort of watching, keeping one eye on Koch and see how he moved or anything like that, or?
I watch a fair bit of vision on the players, so I had a fair idea on how he moved and how he goes about at stoppage. But he's a quality player, and you kind of got some fundamentals that you play the same way against every player.
Have you mortgaged your game around anyone? Have you looked at other taggers in the past?
Not really. I've done a lot of work down back with Josh Drummond this year in defence, and that's set me in good stead for coming in the midfield. So, but looking at players like Cameron Ling and stuff was probably a guy that I've looked at. But besides that, not really.
Do you enjoy it?
I actually do. Yeah, I get a good thrill out of it. Being able to play such a pivotal role for the team brings a lot of enjoyment, especially in front of 90,000 yesterday.
Very steady performance yesterday. I mean, Richmond looked on top early, but you guys really held and then hit back. How much confidence does that give you going into next week? Yeah,
it's great to see us fight through a game where we had our backs on the ropes a lot of the time. So especially in front of 90,000. So it was great, and to think that we can take that momentum up in Sydney, it's good.
Do you owe Sydney one after what happened last year?
Not if we owe one, but we're definitely excited to get back up there, and because last year wasn't great, so we're definitely excited for the challenge.
And Josh Kennedy, a possibility for you?
Yeah, there's a few possibilities, and he played sensational on the weekend, and pretty much kept them in the game at times. So I'm not sure who I'm going to go to, but he's definitely one of them.
Ben, you used to be a massive ball winner when you got drafted. What was the trigger for the change to this role this year?
I think it was just trying to find the role that best suited me in the team, and we've got some great ball winners in the side, and that was my way in the side, and it's worked.
The challenge against Josh Kennedy, he's a big guy. Are you big enough, to play against somebody like that, considering the height that he's got?
Yeah, well, I played on 5 only a couple of weeks ago, so he's pretty big as well and strong. So after playing on someone like that, I'm pretty confident to play on bigger guys. But he's a contested beast, so he'll be another challenge in itself. So yeah.
How do you as a challenge? How do you sort of combat the difference in size?
It's just the way you set up on them. They're different. The way they want to win the ball, you've just got to do your homework thoroughly. So you're going to play every player different, small, big, fast, quick, anything like that. So I haven't done the tape on him yet, but I'm sure hopefully I can find someone to nullify him. But he's a monster, so and a great player, so I'm sure it'll be tough.
How does the satisfaction compare towards winning lots of ball and being really attacking towards really clamping down? How does that personal satisfaction compare when you're out on the ground?
I think it's great because just playing a team role, and it's such a team game, AFL football, and if you haven't got 18 guys on the field playing their role, you get shown up, and we've seen that's happened to us in the past. So to play such a pivotal role, it's great.
Do you count your opponent's possessions or anything like that? Do you keep track of how you're going statistically? Or?
Not really. You just try and look at their influence, and you go into the game and you have that. You know what they're best at, and if you can stop them doing that, then you think you're doing pretty well. But I don't count or anything like that. No.
A couple of moments in that game. First of all, the Sean Higgins one. How much was that an inspiration early in the game?
Oh, it's amazing. I thought our senior players were great yesterday. Especially as a younger player, you look up to those guys to set the tone, and I think they kept us fighting in the end. And Higo's effort was amazing, and there was a lot of other effort. So I thought, as a younger player, to see our senior players step up like they did was great.
And on the flip side, Lindsay Thomas coming in and a bit of a brain fade with the kick.
Yeah, I haven't seen what happened, but it gave away a 50-metre penalty, which is not what we're about, and we're not happy with that. But I'm sure he knows that as well. So I haven't looked at it, but 50-metre penalty at a crucial time wasn't great. But he's improved in those kind of areas, so I'm sure he'd be disappointed as well.
Do you think you look at the prelim from last year this week? Do you have a look at that as you prepare?
Well, I'm not sure if we'll look at it. I doubt it because we've played Sydney this year. They're different, we're different, so it's going to be a whole new game. But I think the few things they do is the same, but I doubt we'll look at it.
I knew that you were really sick heading into this one. How sick were you?
I didn't train all week, so I ducked into hospital quickly, but it was only briefly. It was a check-up, so I was able to have a jog around Friday, which was good to get something out of the way and have a bit of a blowout. So yeah, it was ugly at times, but I was able to get up and in front of 90,000. The sickness didn't feel too bad.
When did you go to hospital?
Thursday, just briefly. So yeah.
Ever in doubt?
Thursday morning, I thought I may be in a bit of trouble, but with the support staff and the doctors and stuff, they got me up and got me feeling good. And yeah, I was lucky enough that it kind of passed by Friday.
Did you lose weight during the week?
Yeah, I was scared to weigh myself actually, so I didn't do that because I didn't need that going into a final.
Do you know how much you have now?
After the game, I weighed myself and I was probably a good 3 or 4 kilos than I usually weigh at. So, but I felt fine during the game, like it was good. So, yeah, but definitely wasn't going to weigh myself during the week.
A few passes this week, or pub feeds, or put it back on?
Yeah, I can indulge today, which is good. That's an excuse.
Some people, sorry, mate, you go. Some people question Jared Waite's recruitment when he came. Did he repay that faith yesterday?
He was definitely one of the players I was talking about that stepped up for us. He was amazing and set the tone for us, not just, with what he did on the scoreboard, but his pressure. And I think he's one of the best players in the comp at it.
So hard to win it all from outside the top four, but I'll bet you're not putting any limits on what you can achieve.
Definitely not. All the teams that are there we've beaten before, and I think the way this year's gone, it's anyone's game, and we're excited and we think we're up for the challenge.
Are Sydney vulnerable?
I don't know if they're vulnerable. They're a great side. They've been here before. They're a finals team, so I don't know if they're vulnerable, but I think we can beat anyone on our day.
Ben, obviously you played last week, but talking to the boys that had the week off, did they think that was a fact yesterday? Were they running on top of the ground at the end? Or?
I haven't really talked to them about it, but I think Brad made that decision and it paid off for us yesterday. It looked like, yeah.
You're tagging so good that you're holding the microphone.
I know, I'm helping out, so it's not allowing me to fix my hair all the time. So, but it's yeah.
Mate, are the boys giving you a tagging nickname? Are you the Glover or anything like that? Or?
No, nothing like that. I just got some stick for doing stuff like this. Yeah.
Good on you, mate.
Good on you, mate.